Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the All Elite Wrap-Up brought to you by the Turnbuckle Tavern. As always, I'm your guy, the good old Mike Belcaster, and brought to me the honor that I so rightfully do not fucking deserve this week. The ratings witch, the ratings wizard, the one and only Hawk, baby. Hawk, how is it going, brother?
It's fucking great, man. I'm the ratings witch this week because we did the craft on Broken VCR, so I gotta represent.
Good fucking Broken VCR pull, first off. Great fucking movie. Dig the hat. Is that a Potter hat, or is that like a real witch hat?
It's a wizard hat for visual effects. One day I'm going to use it.
I like it.
I feel like a real wizard.
We are the Wizard Appreciation Society here, first and foremost, before anything else.
Of course.
Yes. So let's get into a little bit of shilling, because that's a little bit important. But like, guys, turnbuckletavern.com. You know the drill. You know the shill. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, do all the fun shit, join the community, whatever that bullshit means. Come hang out, be part of the family. Call the tavern. You can do it tonight, 304-404-2004. Hawk will shit all over your voice message. It'll be beautiful and graceful and styling and graceful. That's
especially
the best
if
way
you're
to do
Bill
it.
Twats.
Yes, fuck Bill Twat. Yes. Speaking of Bill Twats, oh wait, that's Tom.
I buy that. That guy looks like a Bill Twat.
Very elegant, very formal. Yeah, man. We don't have a fucking format here. We're going in raw, like we always do. It is the wrap up, but we like to go in raw here. Damn right, and especially when you're on. I'm not abiding by any rules, but like let's cut into it, man. The show. Let's give me an overall thoughts about tonight's AEW Dynamite, man.
Probably better than the last few episodes, but this episode was void of any. The only thing that built story was MJF. Everything else was just matches thrown together. Because I didn't even know Jericho was up for the Ring of Honor title. I think they just threw that together.
It was out there.
Okay, because
it was announced.
Well, when did they announce it?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm not Tony Khan, man. All right.
I understand. I'm not a huge match guy. I've said that time and time again. So I'm a story guy. Yeah. And aside from the MJF shit, I don't think they set up much story at all. And I knew we weren't going to get a lot of story during the tournament. Whatever. Yeah. But here's why I'm annoyed. And I made a joke about it on the text thread about the Tony Khan's always like, this is going to be the best 2 hours of wrestling you've ever seen. Stay tuned. Historic night in AEW. And then you watch it and you're waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
And by the end, it's just another episode of Dynamite. Tony Khan's a fucking asshole. He's been doing that since I've been watching AEW. It's fine to not hype your shows like that, because it's one thing to hype it, but then when you don't ever meet expectations, you're always going to look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah, understandably. Very understandable.
So there was no story at all. It was match after match after match. And again, my complaint is belt. It was a bunch. Tony Khan loves belts and loves introducing new people as the big things for that hit, And
I'll go with that. I get it.
Yeah, I want more, Belcaster.
I feel you.
Storytelling. I want a lot of shit involved. Even the MJF shit. The security guards come in. And it's like 3 security guards, and they're like, whoa, guys, calm down, stop. After MJF was just saying some of the most vile shit, like he's the devil. 3 security guards come in. Hey guys, can we stop this? Can we end it?
And then they got the big guy out there.
Got the big guy.
Just like that's not doing the Wardlow job. He's not. He's bigger than Wardlow.
What's hilarious is like, okay, so Wardlow's not MJF's right-hand man anymore. Let's get MJF another big right-hand man that's going to have no story for 2 years till he turns on MJF.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they call his name here, but Big Cass. That's what he was in WWE.
W. Morrissey, I believe.
There he is. Something Morrissey.
Bullshit or like
shitty band, shitty fucking name for a wrestler.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the good part about him is he doesn't need story because he's probably not going to be around for too long. Like I don't see it happening. I don't see him being like a big deal. He's just that guy. He's a big fucking dude with long hair that's just chilling, and he's like, yeah, I got your back, bro. Like they're a bunch of Jersey fucks. I don't know.
Hager's been playing that role for two and a half years now. They don't let that dude do anything but be the big guy to be Jericho's fucking right hand man, his bouncer, basically.
Yeah. See, this guy's bringing up King Hueco Mundo, which we appreciate you watching, but yeah. Ring of Honor belts are mixing in with the AEW belts. I get where it's frustrating.
Okay, I have this argument with the fucking Chads on the flagship all the goddamn time. So whatever fucking King Hucho Mundo, ROH is AEW belts because they're only defended on AEW events, and I don't care what people say. If they're only defended on AEW, they're fucking AEW belts. I don't care if you call them ROH. Yeah,
I agree with you on that. I mean, they really do need to establish Ring of Honor as its own entity. They can't be just throwing this on fucking shows left and right. And like, cool, Jericho's the Ring of Honor champion, but what does it mean to a hawk who's watching the show? It means jack shit.
Yeah, if they start an ROH show, then they become ROH belts. But until then, they're clearly AEW prizes that Tony Khan likes to throw around as belts like you would an AEW belt. Because if they weren't a big deal, you wouldn't even have the ROH belt in AEW. Like, who gives a fuck? The fact that he has it in there makes it an AEW prize. And I accept zero arguments to the contrary on this.
Yeah, and like the other thing that kind of gets on my nerves about it is like CLAUDIO is a former Ring of Honor star. Like that's where he came from, right? Good shit. He made his name in WWE. Fucking cool. But to have him lose to Jericho, obviously cool. Jericho being a Ring of Honor champion adds some kind of, legacy to whatever. But you're going to take it off of a guy who was in the original Ring of Honor. It's not like it was a Daniel Garcia. It's not like it was a, who the fuck ever name you want to throw in there. We'll put Jericho over again. Like, come on, go for it. Like, do it, Bella.
But I predicted he was going to win the tournament, the AEW title. Yeah. Just because I thought he was going to have one more title run before he retires. So he is going to have it. Because I do think Jericho is going to retire soon. I know Sneed wants him out. So...
Sneed's gunning for Le Champion, huh?
He's wanted Le Champion out for a year now. So I don't mind Jericho having one last title reign. I just think there's too many prizes in AEW.
Not the Ring of Honor title. It should be the AEW Championship, right?
No, I don't. Yeah, I just think that we should keep the ROH belts off of AEW because I think it gets too crowded. You have the fucking Pure title. You have the fucking... how many ROH titles
you got the tag titles.
The tag titles.
The FTR's got those. They got... and then the Ring of Honor actual championship. Yeah, I get it. It's a little overwhelming. It's a little too much.
When did CLAUDIO get the ROH belt, though? I don't even remember that happening.
The last Ring of Honor pay-per-view that they did. So they are still running Ring of Honor pay-per-views. They'll throw them up like every 3 months, every 6 months, something like that. It's not... He's still trying to make it something, but it's like, even on there's still AEW people on the Ring of Honor shows. But for the most part, it's strictly a Ring of Honor show, right? But they don't do that with AEW.
But that's right on par with Tony Khan to not have any story leading up to a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. If he's just doing pay-per-views... What's the story leading up to him?
Well, they don't have a TV show to tell stories. Well, they don't have any. They have no platform yet, right? You can't run. It's like a concert, right? You can't have a concert where everybody's playing the show on the fucking ground. You have to have a stage for them to do it, or else it's not a concert. It's just a bunch of fucking assholes.
For sure.
Doing the thing.
But I think even at this point, if you wanted to eat, you could easily get YouTube or
There we go.
something just to get some fucking.
We have the Ring of Honor,
going.
the Women's Championship, the Pure Championship. Do we really see the TV titles on? I don't think we've seen the TV title on AEW yet, or the 6-man titles. 6-man title. AEW made their own 6-man titles, but yeah, no, you need AEW or Ring of Honor needs to be doing something outside of the AEW bubble to make it legit, to make it something tangible, right?
Yes, I'm 100% with you, and I think it would help AEW because they're not trying to cram so many fucking people in to one show, then you don't see them for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know, and I think ROH will help, and I just think that. Maybe Tony Khan prematurely blew his load when he was announcing his purchase. Like, he could have purchased it, almost kept it quiet.
Yeah.
And then, like, shocked us when it comes back. Instead of this, I bought it, and now he feels this obligation to give us a taste of it because he made it such a big deal that he bought it. Whereas if he didn't make a big deal that he bought it, I don't think he'd be as inclined to have as much ROH representation on Dynamite.
Very understandable. But here's the other thing, too, is like the Ring of Honor shows have been top tier. All those pay-per-views, they've been way, way on a different level than most of the AEW shit that we've seen. So it's just weird. Like, it's almost like he gives more attention to that to make it stand out on its own before he's putting out his own product. It's like, he's having the Jaguars and the Bears under your repertoire is like, fuck the Bears. Like, the Jaguars is where the money's at.
Where's Samoa Joe? Did Claudio beat Samoa Joe, or did Samoa Joe vacate the title and it was interim?
No, Claudio beat Samoa Joe. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Samoa Joe beat Jonathan Gresham. Something happened. I don't know. It's too far back. I don't give a shit enough to keep track of it.
Exactly. You don't give a shit.
Yeah. But it was still interesting. See, there we go. Joe's on the last pay-per-view as Ring of Honor TV champ. There we go. So there is the TV champ. Shit. Thank you, fucking Matt Carlos, for...
Oh, so Samoa Joe wasn't the ROH champion. He was the TV champion.
I think he still is the TV champion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
but he's injured or shooting a movie or... I don't fucking know.
Probably injured. They're always injured.
Yeah. Lack of storytelling in the first one. It was cool. It was a good match. But like you said, you're not a match guy. So I'm not going to sit here and go over matches with you. I'm not going to be like, oh, it was great when he did that, fucking jumping Judas effect and his ass. And it's yeah.
Feel free, and I'll just look at you like a deer in headlights. And like, yeah.
It's okay. This is a conversational piece here. All right. But I will say the one match that did have storytelling, kind of, was the tag titles match. What'd you feel about the tag titles match?
You knew it was predictable. I'm glad Swerve and them is fucking not the champions anymore. They never should have been. I do think that the Acclaim should have won it at the pay-per-view because the crowd really fucking wanted it at the pay-per-view, and it made sense at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then to just come back 2 weeks later, have the same match, and have... Oh, it's you, Mike.
Do I sound shitty?
You sound fine to me. I don't know.
You look fine to me, but that's the usual case.
Yeah. But no, you sound fine. But I just think the crowd wanted it at the pay-per-view, and I think it would have made the pay-per-view a little bit better. And then tonight we could have got the Acclaim with their first title defense against someone.
Yeah.
Basically, because I don't like Keith Lee or Swerve Strickland as individual wrestlers or as a tag team together. I don't really think there's a spot for them in AEW, but for some reason they rose the ranks very quickly to be the tag title holders. And now that they're not, where are they going with those two? Like,
it's a very, very honest, good question. I 100% agree with you on that.
You might not see them on Dynamite for a year now. It's good, but like, there's no storyline they're going to be involved in that's going to be compelling to me on any level. So I hope this was kind of like, hey, we gave you a shot. Crowd didn't really like you. You're out of here.
Understandable.
Because the crowd does not respond to them at all. Like, at all.
Yeah. See, now I think I fixed my mic. I think we should be better. It's not so echoey. I had it on the camera fucking mic, but understandable. But yeah, I do agree with you. I wish they would have. I wish they would have pulled the trigger at the pay-per-view, because it kind of killed the whole vibe. You know, like they were so over at that show that it was dumb to not pull the trigger on the Acclaimed at the fucking pay-per-view. Like they were more over there than they were tonight. People were like you said, they were expecting it tonight, and cool, it was in their hometown, but wrestling's about moments. And I think I talked about this maybe in the group chat or whatever, but the Acclaimed at the pay-per-view would have been a moment. You know, like that's a WrestleMania type moment. Like those guys winning, beating them. It was a great fucking match. Really fun to be there in person for it, but it kind of sucked the life out of the room when they didn't win. Pay-per-view was kind of dead afterwards.
That's what I said.
You said it too. Yeah.
There was 2 matches. It was Starks losing and the Acclaim losing. And I get like maybe one of them win, one of them lose, but for both of those guys to lose, those 2 guys losing,
they killed
Starks and the Acclaim, killed the energy in the building. I remember it.
And I wasn't even there for when I was literally smoking a cigarette. I stepped out for 2 seconds, came back. Tom's like, Starks lost. I was like, okay, like here we go. Like, but I mean, it's cool that they won, but I think they should have did it at the pay-per-view. But it was still good storytelling on that end.
But I don't know what commercials you get, but we got this fucking suicide prevention ad. Yeah. Okay, so you're trying to build up fucking Powerhouse Hobbs as this just chair just going through everyone, and then he gets on this suicide prevention ad. He's like, it's okay to not be okay. It's like, oh, way to fucking build character, AEW. Holy shit.
He's not okay, clearly, because they've been fucking ringing him through the fucking laundry mat, man.
I think it would have been hilarious on that suicide commercial if MJF came on at the end and be like, oh no, you should just kill yourself.
you fucking marks. Like,
just to use it to build character a little bit.
Yeah. And we'll move right into the MJF. What did you think of the MJF promo?
That was baller. It
was great, right?
He's like the Michael Jordan of AEW right now. It's like him, and then everybody else is just a step below him.
Yeah.
On every level.
He was great, man. Except for the security guards.
That's fucking. I know that's a part of wrestling. I get it. I'm not oblivious to the fact that that's been a thing forever, where they bring out a bunch of security guards who can't do anything.
This
and
was
then
3.
They get beat up.
This was not a bunch.
I know, but it's like this didn't make any sense. 3, and they didn't even. There wasn't even like a tussle. It's 3 security guards came out, and we're just like, "Whoa, guys, calm down." You know, we're trying to put on a wrestling event here, and then they just dispersed.
Yeah.
So that annoyed me a little bit because
where's
the Blackpool Combat Club?
This is a line I wrote down because I figured you were cracking up at it, but the Blackpool Cuckold Club.
Yeah, yeah, I did.
It's like that. Hawk's laughing at that right now because that was good. That was really good.
I envy MJF right now. I would absolutely love to be able to go into an arena and just say whatever the fuck I want to the crowd.
Yeah.
Like, because I do that on the fantasy football thread all the time. I'm like, I'm going to go fuck your wives tonight. Like that. I love it. So to be able to do that in like an arena of people and be like, oh, I would fuck your wife, but I have standards.
Yeah.
It
was great.
Plays me. I fucking love it.
Yeah. Or even a pizzeria. Be like, no, sit the fuck down.
Yeah. But that's it. To me, that's the only storyline going on in AEW right now. I can't think of anything else I care about except for what they're going to do with MJF, which it looks like he's going. I'm sure on Rampage, he's probably cashing in the chip or some shit. I don't know what's going to go on.
Well, to burst that bubble, Full Gear, the next pay-per-view is in New Jersey, MJF's kind of home planet, right? So I think you're going to save it for that. I think he's going to win. This is going to be like, fuck all of you. In a good way. Like, we want.
I don't think he's wrestling on Rampage tonight. I think he's cashing in the chip and being like, I want my title shot.
Yeah. I'll go with that. You know what's weird is the thing I don't like is they are taping Rampage. It's 2 hours this week. Everybody's going to know what the fuck happens by tomorrow. or probably like an hour. Like if you go online, you're like, oh, look it up. Boom. You can see everything that happens. No surprises, no nothing. This is a big, you get a 2-hour Rampage. It's a big fucking deal.
But that's what the problem with Rampage has been since the beginning is they don't do big shit on Rampage because they can't. Because if they do it on a Wednesday, it's not going to hit on Friday because everyone's going to fucking know.
Yeah. I mean, you're not excited about Action Bronson
I
wrestling?
don't even know who that is. I keep hearing the name.
He's a Southern rapper, man. He's got he's got his own cooking show or like restaurant show, like diners, drive-ins, and dives. That's
not
this guy. No, it's like that though.
Oh,
he goes and eats chicken at place. He's like, man, this is good chicken.
You
like,
had me fooled. I'm like, wow, he's wrestling now. Okay.
He looks great, man.
No, I actually might tune in for that.
Yeah, with the flame shirt. And still looks like he's in 1999.
Oh, I don't want to skip around, but I had a legit question. I don't know who the fuck this girl is who debuted tonight.
All right, I mean, you're not skipping too much. We'll run over this real quick. Orange Cassidy, Pac Son.
Again, I don't.
Didn't give a shit.
I like both of those guys. I think they could both be in compelling stories. But Tony Khan just threw them together and be like, all right, people like you, you get together and you have a match. And
I've wrestled before, though.
It didn't make any sense for that match to happen unless Orange Cassidy won. But then I realized, oh, yeah, Orange Cassidy doesn't win matches in AEW.
No,
I forgot. Fuck.
He's playing pocket pool,
man.
So before we go into the girl thing, my other problem is they have a whole fucking show that's like every other 3 months called Battle of the Belts. This was a done much better Battle of the Belts. It's not on a Saturday. It was live. It was in front of a hot crowd. Every match was a fucking title match.
It was.
It was a little like why not call it Battle of the Belts? Why not make the Battle of the Belts theme better instead of making it like this Arthur Ashe?
But my complaint is like, okay, so the first 4 matches, I believe, were all title matches, right?
Everything was a title match.
Everything was a title match.
Everything was a title match tonight. There was not one title match.
And there was no story leading up to literally any of them.
Yeah, except for, I mean, if you kind of want to say Danielson and Mox.
It was a tournament. There's no story.
It was not enough story. There's no depth to it. It was story, but like, you know those like books you read in like kindergarten where it's like 3 words a page. It's one of those kind of stories. It's like Dr. Seuss when we're looking for like the Great Gatsby, right? That's where we're going with that. That might be a little too in depth for the wrestling fandom, but
you got to keep it simple.
Yeah, it's wrestling for dummies or Dr. Seuss, right? But yeah, no, like everything was a fucking title match, and I don't know, man. I think Rampage looks good. This was weird, but let's get into the women's match because I know you're dying to talk about women's wrestling. It's your favorite topic of everything. Thoughts, man? Comments? Questions?
I just want to make it known that look. I shit on the women's wrestling, okay, for sure, and
understandable.
So.
Some people just don't get it. I understand it.
And I made the point on the flagship last week. You know exactly when the women's match is going to happen. They always do it at the top of the second hour. It's so fucking like pushed to the back. They're like, all right, we're going to allot you this time at the top of the second hour. Do what you can. And then that's it. So they just don't give a fuck about it. So tonight they throw in, 4 women for the title, a 4-way title match. And if you're going to have a 4-way title match, I just don't think the reigning champion should come out on top. I think if you're going to have 4 women wrestling for the title, it's boring for the reigning champion to win. I don't know. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of bummed because we just had a 4-way at the pay-per-view, right? It was a 4-way. We had Sheeta, we had Tony Storm, we had DMD, and then we had Jamie Hayter, right? So this is everything. This is exactly the same except replace Sheeta and Jamie Hayter with Serena Deeb and Athena. Who gives a shit? Honestly, who gives a shit?
And AEW has a real problem on their hands because Jade's clearly the biggest draw in the women's division. she hasn't even talked about really wanting to be the women's champion.
Yeah.
But they have to make her still invincible, look indestructible, but also have her lose the TV title so she can go for the women's title.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the last 2 4-way matches they've had for the title, I mean, none of the Jade would plow through all of them. So how much longer can they keep this up with her just being undefeated but not going for the women's title? Not a whole lot longer. I'll say that.
So the reason why she's the TBS champion is because she's still very new to the wrestling business. I mean, for as new as you want to call it, I mean, she's been doing it for a while. She should know her shit by now. So the reason why they gave her the TBS title is because it was a good balance. Like, we knew she was over, so let's give her the TBS title, but she's not quite women's championship material yet, right? Obviously, it doesn't mean fucking shit to the fans because they're not in that headspace. But yeah, they're gonna have to fuck over Jade somehow and just slap a rocket to her back and put her in the division, because it's almost hindering, and it takes away from the fact of how she's over, like you said. She's got presence. We've seen her in person several times. She looks like a star. She comes off as a star. They're kind of wasting that chip right now.
For sure.
I agree with you. Yeah.
I'm not a huge Toni Storm fan. And if you remember in Vegas at Fan Fest, her line, there was no one in her line. Do you remember that? Like, there was, it's embarrassing for wrestlers because they'll put like Toni Storm in between like House of Black and the Young Bucks or something. So you have like line out the door, Toni Storm sitting alone at her table.
Yeah, dude, All Out last year, that was Jade. I was in line for FTR, and Jade had nobody in her fucking line, and it was just like, wow. And like, that was the first time I looked at her in person. I was like, God damn, like, she has that it factor. You could see it off of her. She was just sitting there, she like bullshit with the security guard, sitting on her phone, texting her fucking hubby, doing all of her shit. But it was like, she should have a fucking line. She was over. But yeah, it's uncomfortable to see those empty Fan Fest lines.
It is. I just, in general, AEW, they either have to commit to their women's division or get rid of it, and they're not going to get rid of it. So as much as I hate women's wrestling, do something with it to try to make me care.
Yeah.
You're not going to get, if you give them one match at the top of the second hour, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
They just got to do something. They got to do something with it.
The show's long enough. You could fit 2 women's matches on there, make it more meaningful, impactful. I mean, you might tune out, but some people might be shoving it.
Well, I just miss, because they used to, especially during the pandemic, they would do a lot of backstage brawls and matches, street fights and all that, and that's totally went away now.
Yeah,
and they don't do any of that shit, and I think they should start mixing it up. When's the last time we had because I remember Darby and Sting, they were always in these cinematic matches. You could tell that were shot, like they probably like 4 takes to do certain things, those kind of matches.
Yeah, but quality.
They weren't shot live. And I think I like shit like that because I think it helps break up an episode. I think it makes it more of an art piece almost when you mix it up instead of just coming out and just match, short promo, match.
Yeah. Break the format.
They need to, it's getting very cliche. And the issue, though, I think, and I realized it, is Tony Khan hyping tonight wasn't him hyping a product that he thinks bad. He thinks he's killing it. And that's the biggest problem with AEW is Tony Khan thinks things are going well story-wise. And it's not. And until he comes to the realization that it's not going well story-wise, this might be it. I just don't know. It's just going to be this. Again, good parts. I watched Dynamite. It's fine. I have a good time with it. I just want it to be better.
Yeah,
I know I just sound like I'm shitting on it, but I like AEW. I watched it for fucking 2 years, especially during the pandemic. I had a good time with it, and I want it to be good. So I know it just sounds like I'm fucking shitting on every aspect of it, but goddamn, it's been pretty bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, this week was a good breath of fresh air, and we've had a few in betweens. You know,
And
not
you
every
like
week
matches,
knocks it out.
so I get it.
do.
If you're a match guy, then yeah, tonight was probably a decent episode for you. You saw wrestlers you like and good matches. I get that for the people who are into that part of it, but
Yeah.
I'm not, so I need story, and they didn't sprinkle any in.
See, and this is where I do agree with the Tavern folk, because I think you would enjoy WWE because it's very story driven. Not a lot of it makes sense. There's a lot of bullshit going on with it. Lately, it's been better, but this is
Messiah. Triple H came in.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do mean it. It has been better since he's taking over shit and he's working on doing whatever. But yeah, AEW is very match heavy, and it is a kind of a takeaway. You know, you can't. Not everything can be about technical fucking wrestling 24/7. WCW had that. You know, WCW had the wherewithal to be like, here's a segment. Here's one technical wrestling match. Here's some bullshit in between. Here's the main event. You get the story with all that shit. Like there's a right way to do technical wrestling and there's a wrong way to do it. It doesn't need to be every fucking segment, you know?
Especially when people are getting injured left and right. Give them a break. They don't have to, like, Mox has been wrestling. I feel like Mox has wrestled every other week.
He's been on everything.
Been on everything.
Everything.
And if Mox goes down with an injury right now,
they're fucked. Yeah. That's why I was surprised they didn't go with Bryan Danielson. We'll get there. But
yeah, we'll get there.
What is her name? Saraya? I can't pronounce it. I wasn't paying attention enough.
I don't remember who.
I know her. So she's Paige from WWE. I think her name is Saraya, something like that.
I don't know.
Whatever. That's another thing. Simple names. Don't be doing Athenas
like
and
Paige
shit like
would
that.
have been great. Like
Paige
was
was
can't
great.
Use Paige, but you know
she could. Well, it was spelled PAIGE in WWE. They could have took the I out and just put Paige. Right? Who's gonna sue? You're already out of the character. You take the I out of the name, you're good. That is a step in the right direction for the women's division. I think she's very, very talented. She's been injured / retired for the last 5-6 years or something from WWE, but probably more. And everybody thought she was going back to WWE, especially with the Triple H shit going on. So that's like in an impactful way. That's like AEW's female Bray Wyatt-esque, like a level talent, right? So she's big shit. She's top dog. It's like Hawk coming on the fucking wrap up. Like we don't get it often. All right.
I gotcha. So she was a big deal in WWE then.
Huge, yeah. She was the first. I think she was the first ever NXT call up to come on, and she actually beat Punk's wife for the Divas title at the time. So there's a lot of history there. And she's good. She's very, very good. The Rock made a fucking movie about her career. Like, it was a big deal. Like, her mom was a wrestler.
No, that's the... I know the movie you're talking about. That's her.
That's her. That's the chick, right? So, it's a big fucking deal. So, and she came out of retirement to show up here, even though... I mean, that was the biggest pop of the night, I think. And that overshadowed the fucking Acclaim, which... is mind-boggling to me.
Well, it overshadowed the Acclaim because there was 2 weeks late.
Yes, it's about
why.
the moments, man. That's what I meant. And you got that too when you said. I think it was in a group chat, whatever the fuck it was. You were just like, the room's fucking dead now. They are so upset, and that's how it was. Nobody gave a shit about the rest of the show because that moment was a moment. And they lost themselves in the moment.
Do you think that they ever line it up to where they have, all right, we're going to call an audible here? Like mid-match, they're like, all right, the crowd really, or wrestling doesn't do that.
I think that's the biggest problem with wrestling this day and age. Back in, I'll give them up to like 2000, maybe 6 or something. They were about that life, right? Wrestling wasn't just a down and back fourth road. It was a highway. It had lanes. You know, if something was going on, you're like, shit, this is great. Let's change lanes. They don't do that enough anymore. That's the downfall. So, like, at All Out, the Acclaim should have been a fucking lane change. Like, holy shit, you see this, like, fucking getting the ref's ear, It's like Keith, swerve, you're done. Like fucking, it's all about the fucking scissors me daddy.
Which is, I don't care what anybody says. That catchphrase sucks.
It was great, but it's over.
Oh,
That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter how shitty it is. Suck it was a shitty catchphrase, but it got over and got kids fucking kicked out of school. Like people love that shit, man. My nephew comes out of school every day. He's like, huh. And he's doing it with his friends. Like, I don't understand why they're doing it, but like half of them don't even watch wrestling. They just fucking love scissoring each other.
You know what? That makes sense for today.
12-year-olds, man. Yeah. I would be scissoring all my friends if I was 12 still. It was great.
We're scissoring all your friends at 12.
Yeah, I said, damn right, man. But like it's a lost moment. I feel like it would have been way more over if it happened in Chicago than even in their hometown. And I think Tony Khan plays those parts. Like same thing with Punk and Mox when Mox beat Punk in like 2 seconds just to get Punk to win the title here in his hometown. Like fuck his hometown. Do it somewhere else. Give the rub to the other places, man. You can't build a grassroots community if you're doing everything in the big cities. You know?
Plus, I don't understand this. When you're in your hometown, you have to win. Like, who gives a fuck? You wrestle in your home. If you're a wrestler and make a career of it, you're going to wrestle in your hometown tons.
Yes.
So who gives a fuck? It's like, oh, he's going to win in Chicago. Why? Why does he have to win in Chicago?
Well, I mean, Punk's won in Chicago before. He's won WWE championships in Chicago. He's done everything. But the one time it made sense that worked out great was when MJF beat him in Chicago. Everybody was expecting it to go the other way. And MJF's like, fuck you. Like, I'm going to fucking stick my balls in your mouth. And, like, Punk's like, okay, like, it's great. So, like, you see that, you're like, wow, that's great. That was when you got good storytelling out of shit. Like, you got two guys that know how to work fucking business together. Do it like that. But, it's... The hometown advantage does not apply to wrestling. I think it should be the opposite. They should be fucking losing in their hometowns more often than winning. And I would have been more happy if they claimed won at All Out and then lost tonight. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been more like, what the fuck, man? Like, cool, they claimed, like, you knew they were going to win. They had fucking confetti and shit that was pink and... It's too overdone.
If they didn't win tonight, man, that would have been probably the worst booking of Tony Khan's career.
But they should have won it all out. That was bad booking too, man. Yeah, like
of course.
That's why the refs wear those fucking cool little ear monitors. So somebody in the back be like, "Fucking change it, go home." Yeah. So it's like it's business, man. I don't know, but yeah, Paige girl, fucking that's a win for the girls division. Hopefully they do it right.
She was hot. I'd fuck her.
She looked great. She looked better than she did last time we seen her on TV. And Boney said, as long as they don't book her at the top of the ramp, we're good. And I agree with that.
I don't know what that phrase means.
So they don't want her just doing promos at the top of the ramp. Like, hey, what's up, everybody? Like, I'm Paige. We're back. Boom. Woo.
Yeah, I got you. Like,
she needs to get out there and be physical.
Ring.
Yeah. Fucking get some mic time. Do some shit. Be a presence. Don't be a present. Right? That makes sense. It's good.
Sure, yes.
So, yeah, that's where I'm at with the women's thing. It wasn't a bad match. I think Britt broke her nose again. That looked good.
I heard him talking about it. I never know if they're lying or...
That shit was gushing. It looked good. Yeah. It looked like when she broke it the first time. So I was like, oh shit, like Britt's going to be working the spleen, the shtick all over again. I thought the women's match was actually pretty decent. Besides a couple shits and flops. And same thing, I mean, you could say that about any match. The tag match was a great match. There was some fucking discombobulated bullshit going on in the middle of it too. That's wrestling. These guys got to fucking tighten up the ship a little bit more, right?
Yeah, I think they got to start the Britt Jamie Hayter feud. They've done,
and they killed that today.
That's because that's just the second week in a row where they did that. Where Jamie Hayter comes out and you're like, you think she's going to attack? They make it like, what's she going to do? And then she sides with Britt, which the first time, okay.
Yeah.
But the second time, you do it again and she does the same thing.
It's like, we got it.
They're going to, and I know people are like, that story, they're building it, that story. But I don't like repetitiveness because
No.
there's so much you could do to mix it up and make it interesting. And AEW has a real issue with this. They've on several occasions. They've had MJF win a match and then they restart the match because someone had their foot on the rope. They've only done that for MJF, but they've done it like twice.
Yeah.
You know, shit like that. And they just get very repetitive with stuff. And some people might call it story. I just call it shit.
Lazy. Yeah.
Lazy.
It's like going to McDonald's and getting a Happy Meal twice in 1 week and you get the same toy. You know?
Bummer.
It's fucking super bummer. And they took the orange drink away. Fuck these guys.
Wait, there's no orange drink at McDonald's?
I think they brought it back a few years ago.
I was getting ready to rip the microphone out. I didn't even go to McDonald's, but that would have pissed me off.
The high seas where the money's at, man.
Bitch.
You let me know if you go to McDonald's. You tell me. Fucking maybe the Great One can buy us lunch or something. I don't know. Yeah, man. We kind of covered everything already besides the main event, and I'm very, 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 very curious to hear the Hawkamania take on the main event, man.
Well, you want me to start now?
Oh yeah, I mean we're there. I mean the girls' match is over. We fucking Jamie Hayter's just not doing enough. I get it.
I just don't understand Mox winning it again. When they laid out the tournament, the 8 people in it, the person who made the least sense to win it was Mox. Just because he has been in and out of the title a lot recently, it seems like, and they've made him fucking invincible for the most part.
Yes.
And for him just to come out and just put Danielson to sleep like that, and then you're gonna MJF's gonna be the champion at Full Gear.
He has
whatever leads up, whoever has the title. I'm not even saying Mox will have the title at Full Gear. They probably will because AEW loves to just have him plow through people. But so he's gonna have another very short title reign. Like 3 months. I don't know. I just think they could have put it on, because if you put it on Danielson, you could almost have MJF win it at Revolution early 2023 instead of Full Gear. But now that Mox is the champion, you have to put it on MJF at Full Gear. Whereas if Danielson would have won this tournament, I think you could have have him.
You could have milked it.
You could have milked it. But now
Easily.
with Mox, nobody wants to see Mox as champion right now, right?
Well, it's been.
Is it just me?
No, I don't disagree with you, because I was hoping Danielson was going to win, because not only is he somebody new, but he's been a champion in WWE before. I mean, he carried shit. He's a merch seller. People fucking love that guy, even if he's a vegan. I guess there's nothing against it, right?
That's the bean sprout quesadilla.
Goddamn right, man.
He's been put to sleep 3 times now, right?
Yeah, but like that was a shit finish. Like they didn't even raise his hand 3 times, which you're supposed to do when you put somebody to sleep in a wrestling match. It was like 1, fuck him, he's done. Like no.
Well, and I'm sure this just happens in WWE and all the wrestling. It's hilarious to me that AEW does it every single fucking Dynamite, and they're like, "We've got word from Tony Khan that this is gonna last as long as it needs to," and then right at the top of the right when it's supposed to go off, it goes off. Even if there's still
9 o'clock and fucking 36 seconds into it, they're like, "Oh, we're out of time." Fuck it.
So I do think that the match took so long that there was maybe something planned, because it was very anticlimactic. You had MJF watching from the balcony, but it was the same when the MJF promo. Like, it was kind of anticlimactic. You wanted more to happen, and it was at the end of this match. You just figured something more would happen.
Yeah. No, I get it. And like the match itself, it was fine. It was good.
Yeah, if you're a match guy, I'm sure you loved it. You
get to see no, I didn't love it. Said it was fine. Goddamn it! It was less than what you were expecting from a Mox and Danielson match, because they're part of the Blackpool Combat Blood. They're supposed to drink each other's blood. It wasn't.
They didn't bleed. Did Mox not bleed this match?
Mox didn't bleed at all, man.
He had a
first time fake
ever.
Forehead on that saved him from fucking bleeding.
He's a bleeder too.
He is a bleeder, man. It just wasn't his time. The match itself, it wasn't bad, but like What's the harm in giving the title to somebody else for a little bit? Let Mox go on his fucking vacation, because that was the big deal. Everybody's like, Mox had to cancel his vacation and come save AEW. Like, cool, then let Mox go on his fucking vacation for a couple weeks. Give the belt to somebody else. Bryan Danielson didn't have to wrestle every week. They could have pulled the Hangman with him, like wrestle twice, get rid of the belt at Full Gear.
Well, so the issue now is, okay, so you got to say the two top guys in AEW right now is MJF and Mox. Okay. Now you have them tied up in the same fucking storyline.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an issue because you'd have two wrestlers who could be in different storylines. That could be two different storylines carrying Dynamite, but now they're going to be locked up in the same storyline. Yeah. So I don't know how long the Bucks and Omega are suspended or how long Punk's going to be injured, whatever all that bullshit is, but they got to... you're going to see a noticeable hole with those four guys out because you felt the whole time Omega was out, there was that hole in Dynamite, and he comes back, and they're grown men. They're in the locker room. There's a lot of testosterone flowing. Who gives a fuck? So they fought in the back.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, really, honestly, you pull them into a room, you tell them to grow the fuck up, and just go out there and do their job. This whole suspension shit, because in the real world, that doesn't happen. If you fuck up at work, you're just fired. It's not like, well, you know what? We're going to suspend you for a month so you could think about what you did. But in wrestling and professional sports, and what's hilarious is fines. Like, you don't get fined at work. If you fuck up, it's like, we're fining you $100 for your behavior. Yeah. But for some reason, in like wrestling and professional sports and shit, there's suspensions, and it's dumb because they're not fucking kids. It's like you're on timeout. You go sit on the couch and think about what you did.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Which is like, cool. I'm gonna go fuck off and Pornhub it up and watch shit on my TV until you call me back.
Like, if I'm Tony Khan, and he's a fucking pussy, so he'll never do this. You just get in the room and be like, motherfuckers. You might feel like you don't have a boss, but you absolutely 100% have a boss. And you're going to fucking act like it. So just get out there. We're going to fuck whatever happened backstage. We're going to use that drama out there in the arena. We're going to play off of it. You're going to make fun of yourselves for it. And you're going to go out there and you're going to perform. But no, another bad move by Tony Khan. He's like, nope, you're grounded. No wrestling.
Do you not think that that's the route they're going to go?
I know, but how long can they wait? That's my point. Is get it over. Like,
that I understand. Like,
but they've already served long enough suspension for what
I think they've already had this conversation, and I don't even think it is a conversation. I think it's just like, well, we're gonna go turn this shit in the storyline. Fuck you guys. Like, take a few weeks off. We'll see you after all this bullshit's done. And I don't know the technicalities and lengths and shit like that, but who gives a fuck? Let them go make some money.
I agree, and get it going. And even if, and I don't know what's true and what's not true, but they say, well, Punk's out 8 months with injury, but he's just out of the ring. He could
be on camera.
You can put him on camera, man. Put him in. Since JR's, I don't know if he's done or what. Like, he's pretty much done with commentary. It seems like. So put Punk on commentary for the next fucking 8 months. Have him earn his paycheck instead of going on the fucking Comic-Con circuit.
Dude, you know what I think the smartest move would have been is instead of vacating they vacate the title, whatever, that's fine. But they should have opened up that Dynamite after All Out with Punk in the ring. Like, fuck these kids. Fuck, like they should have went fucking put the pedal to the metal. Don't stop on it. Bucks are at that's when their suspension should have happened. Do it live on TV. Fucking save that shit for a good fucking thing.
If I'm Tony Khan after that shit that goes down, I'm like, all right, on Dynamite, here's what's gonna happen. You four motherfuckers are gonna be in the ring together.
Yeah.
And you guys are gonna cut promos and you're gonna say what you want to each other, but within the context of the story,
means,
but there's no limit, but it's just a build story. But that's just, I guess, where I differ from people who are actually running a wrestling company. I don't know. But in my defense, I don't think Tony Khan's running it well. And that's pretty much been the consensus because back in the day when I was shit on AEW, the Chads gave me so much shit for it.
Yeah.
But now I sometimes feel like I gotta like hold Chad back. Like, hey man, calm down, bud.
Whoa, hey, slow down.
Not that bad.
Yeah.
So even
But like,
them, they're starting to feel it too.
yeah, but in like wrestling aside, in a cinematic sense, right? In a film sense, because you're the film guy. You're on Broken VCR. You need the element of elevated fighting. Like you need that conflict, and if they did that properly, like start off Dynamite after that show, everybody knew what the fuck was going on with Punk and the Bucks. Like put it out there, let them get suspended on TV. Technically, make it a fucking big deal. You separate them. That would make sense for them to take a month off or something like that. We're all like, oh, cool, we got this fucking tournament. Trios, fuck, the Trios tag team titles are fucking ridiculous. Like, none of the shit would have been... I feel like it was very lackluster. And I don't think Tony's doing a bad job. I just don't think he's doing a great job.
Yeah, and when the interim thing first started, because when Punk had to vacate it and Mox took it over, the debate was, should it be interim, should it not? I had no issues with it being interim, but now there's some serious issues because they're doing it with the women's title now. They keep calling it the interim. It's like, just call it the women's title, man. No one gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
It's a stage play. It's not like Thunder Rosa's over there being like, they didn't really beat me. And like really animosity, because all it would take for someone to beat her is Tony Khan being like, all right, you're losing tonight, Thunder Rosa.
She's pissed. No. She's so pissed, man. But that was like, I forgot what it was. Somebody posted something. It was like Punk giving a speech about being the interim champion, or giving up the title, putting in the interim bracket, and it was like 8 minutes long, right? And Thunder Rosa was like 20 seconds. She's like, I love you guys. I'm going home and making tamales. Like, I'm done. I can't fucking do this anymore. And like, it was bullshit. Like, it shows where your priorities are. Thunder Rosa should have been able to get the equal opportunity to go out there and say like, yo, I'm fucked up. I can't wrestle anymore. My back's back problems. We know back problems. Like, fucking shit sucks, man. And
not getting in the ring with back issues.
No, not at all. But like, if it was that serious, why was she in the ring to fucking begin with either? Why is she the champion if she's got fucking back issues? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mean to be dogging on people with fucking who are hurt and shit, but don't be putting titles on people that can't fucking carry them. This is getting ridiculous.
Well, and that's a little bit beyond Tony's control, people getting injured, because it's a very violent sport. But
yes,
I think you could alleviate some of it by doing more promos, and you could do more cinematic matches where you got to take more care with the moves, and you're not in such a rut because you have multiple takes to do shit.
Yeah.
So I just think they could get back to some of the shit they were doing during the pandemic to mix it up, make the show more interesting, get back into storytelling more. And the talent's there, the roster's there, as long as people aren't injured or suspended, for them to do some cool, interesting shit. They did, I guess House of Black's still a thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
That Sting's going to join. That's the only way to keep House of Black.
If you have to add something to it. You can't
Sting,
have
it's gonna be Sting. Sting's join. I would be absolutely shocked if Sting doesn't join.
You know what? We'll find out. We'll find out, and after we wrap this up, we can go online and look it up and find out what happened on Friday.
Oh yeah, Rampage is going on right now,
dude. I can't believe like that's another thing. Like you do this big show, spread it out for the week. Fucking film on Friday. At least it's 2 hours. It gives like Rampage when it's an hour. It does not make sense to buy a ticket and go to, because you watch 2 dark matches. You watch the thing. Tony Khan's like, we'll see you guys Sunday. It's the best fucking wrestling show on Sunday. It's gonna be great. Like it's like, okay, cool. This is your moment to shine. Do it live. People would have bought tickets. Tom would have been there. Front row. Oh yeah, look at me. I'm watching Sting.
Plus,
it's great.
I'm willing to bet the energy by the main event of Rampage is dog shit. Because when I went to Dynamite in Pittsburgh,
I can imagine.
Rampage was after, and it was only an hour. And by the main event in the third hour, you're just drained.
Yeah.
So
they blow their loads too quick, man.
They blow their loads too quick, man.
Yeah, it's like high school all over again. Got
last night.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of bean sprout quesadillas you have. But yeah, man, it's I see the problem. I don't think it's a huge problem just yet, but I think that there's definitely places, there's so much room for improvement. And that goes for every fucking show. You could say that about fucking The Big Bang Theory. You know, like you could say that about anything. Lost, all this bullshit. Like there's so much more to work with. Don't fuck around with it. You guys should be focusing on what is the important part of it. Nobody's going to be tuning in for full matches in a year. Like you can't keep running on that fucking that same tank of gas.
No, they gotta drastically start some storytelling. For instance, like if I wasn't doing this podcast, I would totally be done with AEW. I didn't feel like that necessarily like a year and a half ago. I'm like, I'd probably still like tune in sometimes and follow it to see what's going on. But now I am so emotionally uninvested in anyone except for MJF that it's just, it's kind of boring is the word I used last week. And I kind of stick with it. That's the term. Yeah. Boring.
I get where your mindset's at. I'm not going to completely say I'm on the same page because I do enjoy AEW Weekly. I think it's fun. It's a Wednesday night, a really good pick-me-up in the midweek. But at the same time, I understand why you would be saying it's boring. I understand why you're like, I don't give a fuck about the wrestling. I want to see some in-depth storytelling.
I enjoy it. Like, I'm watching it intently, and I like it because I can do commentary in the group thread.
Yeah.
make little clever comments.
Which always pop. I mean, everybody pops for the Hawk. I don't think anybody doesn't pop for you. It's you're a legend, man.
I'm a goddamn legend of the group thread.
Yeah, no, you're going in the Tavern Hall. You're the first inductee to the Tavern Hall of Fame. That's what's. But I get it, man. You do need, like, as somebody who's not a diehard wrestling guy. I mean, you could admit that, right? You're not a fucking live, love, breathe, fucking. You don't have Ultimate Warrior posters on your fucking walls. You're not like, yeah, man, I put my face paint on every fucking weekend.
But I'm a huge live wrestler. I love going to live wrestling. Like even the pay-per-views that even if the pay-per-view is not amazing, like just being there and being in the crowd, drinking, eating shitty arena food,
nachos and shit. Yeah, it's always and that is something AEW does put on the best live wrestling show. If you go to a WWE show, you'll be like, this is fucking Disney on Ice. Stupid bull, like you would be pissed, I guarantee.
And the thing I really love about AEW is Double or Nothing on Memorial Day weekend in Vegas every year because that's a great tradition. I'm starting to go there.
It was good, man. We didn't even mingle enough when we were out there, but it was still a fucking great time.
Yeah, well, Vegas is so weird because I don't gamble. I didn't gamble once, but there's just something about walking through a casino that I just fucking love it.
Yeah, you don't smoke cigarettes. You're not a degenerate like I am. I gamble, I smoke, I drink. I'm all over the place in Vegas. I'm like, yeah, let's fucking party. But like, you're just like, I'm hanging out at my hotel.
Well, and that's why I don't have to fly home early.
Yeah, well,
who had to fly home early? The boozer, the smoker, the gambler.
It wasn't my fault. Okay, somebody coughed on my soup. Yeah, I caught the diabetes or something. I don't know what it is. I'm fine now. That's all that matters.
But it's, again, I know I just get on here and I shit on AEW, but I do enjoy it, and that's why I want it to be better.
Yeah, you care.
It's the same with movies. I shit on movies, and I shit on movies because I want them to be better, not because I hate them.
Yeah, totally understandable. That's what a natural critic would do. Right? You think if Siskel and Ebert gave everybody a thumbs up and they wouldn't be Siskel and Ebert. Yeah. They'd be two fucking jabronis. They're like, we love fucking going to the movies.
It's like when I shit on J-Bone and Tony No Pussy. It's not because I hate them. It's because I see potential for them to be better.
You expect more.
I expect more, And so that's it. When I'm shitting on something, it's because I expect more from them, not because I hate them.
That's a very, very honest and fair assessment. And I appreciate your honesty, your love, your loyalty. I'm glad you're still watching the product, even though it's like, whatever.
It's more, and I've made a lot of a new adult circle of friends doing it. Just, going to Chicago, seeing you fucks.
Yeah.
The group thread every once in a while.
It's good.
It's a good time.
The community is almost more important than the product, right? That's what I would agree.
I have way better time with the community we've built, like the text thread and the various shows I'm doing, than I actually do watching Dynamite.
Yeah, no, you need to get on the Raw Down next. I think that is your white whale here. I think you got to watch like 2 episodes of Raw. Jump in on that second episode. fucking light them up.
Because I have a lot of time, so I'll start watching Raw at work, and then I'll get to know. I don't want to go on a Raw down until I know characters. I don't want to just go on there.
You don't need to know the characters. I don't even know the characters. I've been on the Raw Down a few times. It's just like, meh, fuck these guys. Like, not the Raw Down crew, because I mean they are a genuine great group of people, but WWE's, especially right now, they're in a limbo. They're trying to build more story, but they don't really know what the fuck's going on any better than Tony Khan does.
It's, in general, professional wrestling is missing the generational Hogan, Macho Man, Flair, Rock, Stone Cold. There's no one that I've seen. Even MJF. I love MJF, and he might get there to that status, but he's not there yet. So
he's a baby.
Wrestling needs that figure who's like, you're tuning in for him and him only.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. There's no guy that you could look at and be like, this is the fucking guy. And that goes across every fucking company. There's nobody that's MJF is the most must-see TV you can get on a Wednesday night. They're like, that's it. Throughout the whole week of wrestling, that's the guy we all tune in for. That's the guy we're like, fuck, I can't wait to see him, Blackpool fucking Cuckold Club, the shit out of this fucking show.
Well, we're getting ready to get clearly it's going to be the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Firm for the next.
Oof, God.
Probably leading up to.
Oh, God, no. Stop it. Don't
That's what they always do, man. They get these two factions and they'll have like one
Blood
member of the faction. They'll fight individually. Then they'll have like maybe a War Games or a Blood and Guts match or some bullshit where they're all in there, and then they'll go like two of them will fight, and they get clever with it, and then it all leads up to finally when Mox and MJF. It's formulaic.
I get it. Before we wrap up, what was your initial thoughts on the Firm?
MJF is a lone wolf, so I don't think he works in a faction. And I think that's why you saw the Pinnacle break up so quick, because it's tough when you're trying to play the ultimate fucking asshole. It's tough to have people by your side, and they can't do the same shit. They can't do this MJF Wardlow story again, where there's a faction, but everyone just listens to everything MJF says, and they take all of his abuse for years before they turn on him. So they can't do that again.
Yeah.
They just absolutely can't make like Morrissey, whatever his name is, Wardlow Part 2.
No.
So we'll see. I'm not a huge fan of the Blackpool Combat Club. I like all the guys individually. I like Danielson, Mox, even like Wheeler.
Yeah.
All the guys individually are fine. I don't necessarily like that faction.
I get that. But I thought the Firm was a clusterfuck of, hey, these are guys we have no fucking clue what to do with. Let's team them up with MJF. And the only person that made sense was Ethan Page, because he's on that MJF kind of, I'm an asshole, except he's Canadian. So it's like, I mean, how big of an asshole can you be if you're from Canada, right? You're still going, I'm sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to do that, buddy.
So it's been about 4 weeks since Ethan Page's promo. So he's probably about due for another promo where you hear from him and then don't hear from him for a month. Because that's literally all they've done with Ethan Page since I just look back at all these supposedly big gets that since I've been watching it, that Sneed had to explain to me, this guy, like whether it be, Ethan Page, Andrade, Adam Cole, even Bryan Danielson.
Yeah.
And they get all these guys that are supposedly big gets, and then they just fall to the bottom of the roster, or as MJF calls it, mid card.
They're all fucking mid.
They're all mid. Is that the derogatory term for the mid carders?
I think mid's more of like, hey, fuck you, you're not that cool. Like, you're mid.
Yeah,
it's a generational lingo. It's all the cool kids are saying it nowadays.
Oh, I thought it was like a mid card.
But it makes sense. I mean, you could even say for mid. It makes sense in that terminology. Like, fucking you're mid. You can be the mid card guy. Fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. No, it was very lackluster, and the signings thing was too much, too quick, way too overdone. Like, if they would have spread that out instead of throwing everything at once, I think you would have gotten more momentum out of it.
For what?
Like the people getting signed, like Bryan Danielson.
Oh yeah.
And like Adam Cole did shit for me, and I liked him better in WWE than I did on AEW TV, and I still stand with that. The whole what was the fucking the Red Dragon? It was stupid. It fucking did nothing for me.
I would be shocked if we don't see Adam Cole on. Is he injured though? I heard isn't he?
I don't know, concussions, mental health.
God, everyone's got mental fucking health issues.
Everybody's got mental health nowadays.
Just because you're depressed doesn't mean you have mental health issues. It just means the world sucks.
No, you gotta go scrape your knees a couple times and get the fuck over it. Like this.
Yeah, like life's brutal sometimes. Buck up.
Yeah. Not everybody's dad loves him. We move the fuck. That's what builds character.
My dad did love me until I asked him to scissor me the other day, and now fucking won't speak with me.
I asked my dad to scissor me in 2016, and he's been dead ever since. So I got nothing.
Dads don't want to scissor their sons.
They don't, but sons want to scissor their dads, and that's the most important lesson here.
I guess so.
Well, this was a very refreshing, eye-opening, fun conversation. I thought we did a pretty goddamn good job. You are on a plethora of bullshit, including the flagship. So please shoot your fucking shot here, man. Plug yourself. Do all your fun shit.
Crafts on Broken VCR this week, and next week we drop The Howling, Joe Dante werewolf film.
Good shit.
And check me out. I host an NFL show with one of the interns called The Long Balls on Tuesday also. So Tuesday's the Hawk Day if you want to get your Hawk fix.
Tuesday is the Hawk Day. And Thursdays. You get a little love on Thursdays as well.
Yeah. It's
good. Call the Hawk. See the Hawk.
What do you got going on, Belcaster? Pitch yourself here.
Man, what the fuck do I not do? We got Fig Night on Tuesdays. We got this lovely show, the wrap up on Wednesdays, especially when I'm coherent. I was not coherent a few weeks ago. That was a fucking clusterfuck. But yeah, sessions, shot of nostalgia. Fucking you name it. I skipped sessions this week. J-Bone filled in for me. They went over the 25th anniversary of Stone Cold Steve Austin giving the first stunner to Vince McMahon, which does absolutely fucking nothing for me, but you guys might enjoy it. Go watch it. Listen to it. It's good. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's follow, subscribe, like, fucking do all the Tavern love, baby. Nick Storm's in here. Nick Storm, get your fucking ass.
You missed it,
goddamn
Nick Storm.
Tavern,
it was
man.
great.
Yeah.
This was the best episode of the wrap up ever, and you missed it.
Yeah, no, the ratings are going to be through the roof. People, we're getting what do they call the internet Emmys? What are they called, like the indies or something? No, that's wrestling. I don't know. Whatever. We're nominated for all the awards. We're getting an Oscar next week. It's not even Oscar season.
I think so. I think this is now the AEW wrap up A team. Like, we do it, and then if one of us needs a break, then maybe Ace comes on because we.
Yeah, man, I'm cool with it. This was a great time. Very adult conversation. Next time we need some red wine, possibly a candle or two. We'll close the show.
I will.
We'll close the show cheersing on some bean sprout quesadillas. It'll be beautiful, man.
If I knew we were gonna be this baller, I would have set up the background and got fancy with it. But
we gotta get like the extravagant like Lord's quarters of fucking red velvet fucking curtains and the long table in the back. I like it. What did we think of Pac versus Orange Cassidy? We did not enjoy it.
It was. Two wrestlers I don't mind thrown together for a match that I didn't care about, and I don't think the right person won. I can sum it up that easy.
Orange Cassidy should be on top of his shit because he proved himself during the pandemic, and they fucking dropped that ball after he had his feud with Jericho. When was the last time Orange Cassidy did anything?
When's the last time he won a big match? I think was the Mimosa match.
That was the best, but it was a good program.
That was a good feud. They had like 3 matches, right? Didn't they do 3?
Yeah. They even did that like fucking the debate where they got in the ring and Orange Cassidy was talking about fucking global warming and like everybody was like, this guy fucking speaks. Like that was good comedic fucking that was beautiful, man. That's how wrestling should be.
That was the only time he's ever spoke.
Yeah.
I mean, for any length of time. I remember it. They were doing like they had the podiums set up and they were doing like some sort of debate.
And it was funny.
I like Orange Cassidy, but like Tony Khan does his best to kill momentum of wrestlers that people like.
Yeah. I listen, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but he's like, you gotta have the highway effect, man. You gotta be able to change lanes, Fucking give Orange Cassidy an All Atlantic title. What the fuck does it mean? Let Pac be part of the trios shit.
Doesn't he have the trios title right now?
Yeah. Like fucking why does he need the All Atlantic too? Give it away. As the famous beautiful quote by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Give it away now, man.
Very profound.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was philosophy night.
It is philosophy night, man. And not the best philosophy, but there's philosophy there. Well, this was great, man. I appreciate you taking the fucking time out of your beautiful, busy schedule to come here and honor us so greatly on the All Elite wrap-up. Everybody else was dicking around at some stupid wrestling show tonight. I don't know. Fucking unprofessional motherfuckers. Well, I'm going to go get a bean sprout quesadilla, crack open a beautiful red wine, maybe a Pinot Noir or some sort in your honor. Thank you again for joining us. I appreciate that. Thank you all for joining us. This was a very peaceful, beautiful conversation. And until next time, I got to load up the video because I'm not, this is usually Tom's job. And
when J-Bone's doing it, we always get an after credit scene because it'll end and we're still there because he didn't hit the end broadcast.
Oh, God. Fucking interns, man.
Stay tuned for the after the credit scene.
Oh, this is professional. We're wrapping it up right the fuck now. So, guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. Hawk, thank you for joining me. It's a beautiful night. All right, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. Take care.